I wanted to talk to you how to prepare for a job interview. This is part two. Earlier we talked about what kind of personality you have, and the more you understand yourself, this is better prepare you how to deal with your environment. Here we wanted to talk about this part about how you prepare your resume, your cover letter, and your personal card. So I'm hoping that we'll meet on Tuesday. You prepare a resume and bring it one with you. Bring a cover letter that goes with it. We will help you to write a personal card. And then also would like you to basically look for a job description or an agency that you like to ultimately get a job. And lastly, I wanted you to write yourself a letter of recommendation. And as you know, we practiced last time, you need to practice the 9 laws of who am I. For being prepared for an interview, first you want to look at your appearance. You need to dress to kill. You need to get a haircut. You need to obviously limit some of the accessories you wear. You don't want them to have out there. Hide your tattoos. You need to just practice something that we usually call a star. I call this telling a short story. So you need to kind of put in your mind a situation that you were faced with at work. What were the tasks involved? What action did you take? And what were the results? Practice that in your mind so when you come in to ask your example, you'll be able to use the star, situation, remember, the task, action, and results. And you definitely need to know your strengths and weaknesses by heart. Because most of the time they ask you what characteristics or strengths you have that will contribute to the job you're applying for. Most of all, we learned about 90-second speech. We call this an elevator talk. Most of the time, when you first meet someone, they ask you, tell me about yourself. So it's good for you to practice and prepare 10 most important things that you like the person to know about you. This is the most common questions asked during interview. So we use these items. You need to describe your name and place and education, some people call it MPE. You need to describe a little bit about your family, skills. You don't want to say, my wife is pregnant, we're planning to move in 6 months. Or I'm engaged and I may move to North Carolina. So you want to reveal something about your family. And basically if they ask you about do you have children, say yes, I have a very supportive husband, a very nice mother-in-law who takes care of my children, so I have no problem in traveling. So you need to kind of offset those things that they worry about. Your skills, recent employment you've had, skills that you have acquired. They also look what we call behavioral qualities. Are you on time? Do you get along with people? Could you solve problems? And why are you a good fit? I sometimes throw some wacky questions in there that you think about that may throw you off. They ask you sometimes if you were a tree or an animal, what kind would you be? So those are some of the funny things they throw at you that maybe to kind of see how would you answer something like that right on your toes. Because they want you be able to be creative and solve problems fast. So during the interview now, we want to make sure that you smile a lot, feel very confident. Confident is very good. Feeling confident is not someone give it to you, it comes within you. Make sure you go to the washroom before you go to into the interview. Look at yourself up. Make sure you smile a lot. Put a pencil in your mouth even if you have to. Make sure you shake. So make sure you really feel happy and you walk in there, you're very, very positive. Firm, shake hand. Make sure each person you meet, this is like the most important person you have ever met. And you want to shake their hands nicely because you never want to forget that handshake. You want to make sure you get to know their name. When you shaking hands, you want to say, it's so pleasure to meet you, John. So you throw their name because that's a very important. Remember, the most common word anyone would ever have heard in their life is their name. Make sure you have a professional profile because they may ask you for examples of your previous work. Do this writing sometimes. Term papers and others would be helpful. Make plenty of eye contact. I always say that be kind of sensitive who you're making eye contact with and how much, but kind of be very comfortable and confident. Be early, but don't ever be on time. Gotta be early. Gotta get out there, get to know everybody, chat a little bit with the secretary, get to know their name, and be enthusiastic, but don't talk too much. As I always say, what you ain't said ain't going to hurt you. Make sure you listen very carefully and express yourself in very short sentences. People can't digest multiple sentences. Just feed them like you're feeding someone a small size sushi. Make sure you understand their question. If you didn't understand or you were hesitant about your answers or you wanted time to think, ask them, would you please repeat that question? This way you can buy yourself another 30 seconds thinking about what would be the smartest, clever answer I can provide. You can kind of buy time to summarize your thoughts. Make sure at the end of every presentation or quant you make to summarize your strengths. Remember, you want to sell yourself. You need to brand yourself. You need to make a pitch for yourself. Why I am the best person for the job. Obviously, you need to be very honest. Remember, this is not a test. This is only a conversation between you and a person. They want to get to know you. They want to know qualities you have that would fit that agency. Watch for behavioral questions. And those are the questions that have to do with your character, your strengths and weaknesses. Make sure you practice on them a lot. So usually sample question starts with, tell me about yourself. What are your strengths and your weaknesses? Why should we hire you? Tell us what you know about us. What can you do for our company? What is your work experience and how do you think that's going to complement the position you are applying for? What are you looking for in this job? They ask you, those are tricky questions. You have to be on your toes and prepare your answer in advance. What are your salary requirements? And they ask you your career goals. Usually you can express that during when you tell them, who am I? You may want to ask questions of them. This goes to question as if you had a chance one thing in your life, what would that be? If you have to change one thing in your life. Sometimes these are what I call it kind of off the side questions that may throw you off. Give us 3 examples of leadership, of your leadership. How do you deal with difficult people? Name a book you read during the past 30 days. Who is your hero? And what's your favorite movie? So make sure you have some answers like this so we'll be able to kind of respond to them. Question that you ask of them is, what are some of the current projects that I can get involved in? What is your ideal employee looks like? What are the benefits? How often we get paid? And there are many different variety of benefits depending on the company we're applying for. The larger they are, the more benefits. Dental benefit, eye care, and others. The maternity, many times you want to know that high insurance for your family. So after the interview, you want to definitely send a thank you note through personal handwritten. Is much important, it's traditional. Send them an email. You have to do this right away. You need to collect their card before you go home. You need to show gratitude. The quicker you show gratitude, the better you are. Literally, I always write the thank you note even before I go out there, so I know when I come out is in the mail. Get to know the staff. Always carry something goodies to give them. Follow up usually after 4 or 5 days working days. And in the meantime, keep looking. Keep looking for other jobs. Because once you get has a momentum going about your interviews, you want to keep the momentum going. Every time you do an interview, you get better at it. And anyway, thank you. Good luck to you on the next job. And lastly, smile a lot. Be positive and be happy. And that's where we'll send you. So in the class, we want you to do is to complete an employment application. Prepare a letter of recommendation. We'll help you to write a thank you card. We'll conduct peer reviews, interviews. We'll do some role playing. We do peer evaluation. We practice the star and telling stories. And we'll ask you to stand up and tell us 90 seconds about yourself. Thank you very much. This concludes my presentation, and have a wonderful day.